What's up?
There.
Yeah.
I'm not here yet, though. Dude.
Yeah.
I'm so tired today. And also, I'm drinking this Mountain Dew from the 2-liter bottle. And it looks pretty cool on stream. I'll show you in a second. All right, one sec. What's happened? Interesting. All right. This is a short stream today because my son's birthday, Graham, he turns 4 today, and we're going to an Airbnb. Very exciting. So that's what we're doing. But we had a catbot, and columnists can talk to zombies now, and I don't think the zombies will talk back right now. So that's what we're doing. We'll do quick. But there's one more thing I forgot to do, and I don't remember what it is. I know what it is. This music's too loud. That's what it is. Let's do that instead. There. All right, Victor, check out this Mountain Dew in a second. Are you ready?
Yeah.
You have a delay anyway, it doesn't matter. It's like Starmancer themed Mountain Dew, dude. It looks sick, dude. It looks so cool.
Whoa.
Right?
What is going on with this?
Oh,
green screen. It's green?
Yeah, it's a green
the
screen.
Is green.
So it's like, so it's just like this cool bottle of Mountain Dew, man.
Yeah.
And now it's like Starmancer themed Mountain Dew. It's pretty cool, dude. For some reason,
This looks like a black sort of ghost bottle.
Yeah. Mountain Dew is weird. Like, soda's weird if you look at it. Like, look at it. It's just like watery sugar juice. But don't do that part. Part of the fun is drinking. Like, I don't drink this Mountain Dew because it's gonna go bad. It's gonna go flat. And I'll be gone for the weekend.
What if you bought like bubblegum, green bubblegum, and you blow it, like the bubbles?
That could be cool. My face would start to disappear. What if instead I just get green balloons? Instead.
And
I don't have to blow up. I don't like... Yeah, I'll shoot them up. I'll blow them up. I'll blow them with my mouth.
I mean, shoot them. Like...
Oh, you say shoot like with a gun? Like pow pow?
No, chew.
Chew on the balloons?
Chew them.
Yeah, I'm going to chew the balloons. I'm going to blow them up after I chew them. Like gum.
Or if you eat like a cucumber or something. Something else that's green, like guacamole.
Guacamole, pickles, leaves.
Leaves, yeah.
You know, any type of salad, really. You know, that I want. Boogers.
Here.
I know.
Aren't they only green if you're infected or something? Like if there's an infection in the body?
I don't know, man. Mine are green more than they're not, so I don't know. All right, we added this cat bot. That's what we did, Victor. Now let's do this thing. Catbot. Catbot.
Oh, dancing.
What'd you just say? He's dancing? Oh, yeah, he's dancing. He's dancing. The idea of the catbot is that he does what? The catbot does what? Oh, it's like the player. It's like your little player's dude. If they die, he comes back. That sort of thing. He's a fun little hooligan. Do you know what, though? I left the dev mode booleans on, so there's no solar system out here. Yeah, isn't that sad?
We need some techno music for the catbot. Like,
is that what you're gonna work on today?
What? No.
I thought you were gonna make some techno music for the catbot.
No.
You're saying you want royalty-free. What type of music did you just say?
Techno music.
Techno. No copyright. It's gaming vibe. 4 hours. This better not be terrible. Is this a song or is this the intro to the video? I don't know. I don't know. Restarting this because I didn't have a star system. That's a sad day. Boop boop boop. Check 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 check. Mic check. Okay. This looks fine. It's okay. Generating some stuff. It's over. I was trying to listen to what it sounded like. Alright, I can turn this down then. Alright. Back to the Catbot, Victor. He dances. Catbot's got skills. Catbot's not done yet. Alright, but here's a little Catbot. Got inventory. Got skills. You can name him. Like Charlie or something. If you want. It's Charlie. Alright. Also with the Catbot, you can only context order her around. So colonists, you can automate the Catbot. You cannot automate. The Catbot never dies. All the skills you keep are permanent. The Catbot can die, but she respawns at the core. So, no problem. And then you can do anything with the Catbot that you can do with the colonist. You know, you can make her eat stuff. You can make her clean up corpses, that sort of thing. She has a speed scale just like everybody else. No upgrades, though. Also starts with 5 health. So, that's pretty cool. I'm just going to pick up these people. She hates stocking, but she's not going to pick her. And that's the only reason. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. Alright, I don't really know what I'm going to do. I don't have that long to play. You know? Let's go 4K and make it a little bit bigger. What if we make it full screen? We could do that. It's kind of fun when I do that. I think I like doing that. Hold up, kids. That's pretty cool. We're good, right? That's good. Right. Once again, my frames are so bad on this computer. It can't be because I'm streaming. It can't be that demanding of a process. Okay, this techno music is killing me, dude. I gotta change this. It's better. Maybe. I don't know. Ugh. You know what might be best, Victor? What if you just deafen me if you don't want to hear me? You think that's better?
Yeah.
That way... Okay. That way you can still hear her. I just feel weird talking when I'm not talking to you. It feels rude. It's like there's a rudeness to it, you know? Like an implicit weirdness to it. Okay, this song is too crazy. It's a lot of noise. It sounds like space noises. Like there's aliens or something out there. A zookeeper? What item are you transporting, first of all? This new helmet makes their brains look really big. Oh, I see. It's a DNA frag. This won't happen, though. What are you picking up? A recipe cache. I fixed a recipe cache bug, Victor, so hopefully it won't happen anymore. What if he just muted me? No, he's not. He hasn't. Just you just aren't responding. Rude.
I was listening to techno music.
Rude. First of all, thanks for telling me why you're being, how you're being rude. Oh, I got a robot head. What can you even do with a robot head? What is this thing? 50 beauty? It doesn't even have any morale? Nothing? It's 50 beauty? Just for cosmetic purposes? Okay. Dude, for real though, my frames are bad. I don't know why they were so bad when I'm on this computer. Maybe I gotta like do something with my Unity installation. We should probably go with faster, I feel like that's the upgrade to go with on stream. That way they just do things faster. Also, there's a slime coming in. We can, looks like the crouching animation, the kneeling animation has to get fixed as well, Victor. Here's my cat pot. I'm gonna murk this dude real quick. Look at this freaking slime, dude. Go, cat pot, go. Go, cat pot, go. Again, ignore the frames. They're so bad. I don't know why. What's this? What's this person? No. There. That's some pretty hot, intense catbot action. Charlie increases strength to level 1. How do I let you see that? I'll just get off right. See? Okay, here's what I'll do. I'll do that. See? Charlie in the bottom of the corner. Charlie. He's Charlie. He's Charlie. Now, Victor, just thing you just linked?
Yes.
Is that DMCA free? Do you know? Like, will the video get removed if I play it?
It says that there's no copyright.
Nice.
Copyright free.
I'm playing it. Sometimes I worry that like they say it, but they just say it to get the view, but they don't even mean it. You know?
Yeah.
Like, because you could just say that.
Yeah.
Like, you could post The Simpsons on your YouTube video and be like, it's copyright free, don't worry about it, bro. You know? And if you didn't know what it was, you'd be like, what is this? What's this guy doing? Just all assigned tasks are finished. Okay, well, why don't you guys get some ice?
Did you merge the fixes?
Yeah.
Well, because I'm not getting like the issue with the...
With kneeling?
Kneeling. No. Oh, wait. Whoa. Okay.
You are?
Yeah, but like in a weird way.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Like one color is fine and the other just turned into... Oh god.
Yeah, no problem though. Where are you going? Drinking something? What is he drinking? Oh, because there's no food. They're just gonna find food in the outside. What a little baby. But what is he drinking though? Ooh, bunk beds. Actually, I should totally steal these. What is he gonna drink? There's a DNA frag here. He's like, ah, monster. Let me see if they'll still talk to the slimes, dude. That's something I forgot that I did. Will he talk to the worm? Nah, the worm, I didn't give him a thing. They don't talk to worms, they're worms. They should talk to worms though, right?
What?
Man, he's going so far. He's going all the way to this moonshine, dude. There's a kitchen, actually. It's a pretty good find. Just drank something. And a fridge, too. Okay. Okay. Can make this work. Let's see if they talk to zombies. Let's see if we talk to the slime, actually. What's this slime doing? See? I think he's talking. The slimes can't talk back because it's slime, you know? But I think he's displaying speech bubbles for the animals. Let's see if he displays a speech bubble for the zombie. We could give the zombie speech bubbles as well, by the way. Give them like brain speech bubbles or something. Then they could talk back. But the frequency which they talk might be too little. Or too much or something, you know?
Yeah.
There's a chance with the kneeling pose of what's happening with one image, one is good and one isn't, is that there's perhaps like a frame, perhaps like walk 2, for example, that might set the offset to what it's supposed to be. Something like that might be happening. Where like if it goes from one state to another state, it'll work. But if it goes from, you know, if it's a different state, it might not work. Something like that, you know. I don't know. Yeah. You know, it's a new issue to me. I don't know what might be, what the thing, what I can't talk. What the thing might be. I'm so tired today. I gotta keep like my eyes away from the camera because they just look so tired.
You don't look that tired.
Oh, I would.
On stream.
Oh, I would. You got like 5 seconds to look at it. See?
I don't know, you probably have like good lighting to compensate.
That's true. Let me just get this shit. There's like bags in my eyes. I'm tired, man. Maybe you don't know what I look like normally. You don't know how pretty I can be. That's the problem. What is this? I need to kill a worm and eat it or something. I'm gonna jack a bunch of stuff from this base too. I find cat hard to remember about. But also it's because I'm just not used to playing with cat, you know? But also maybe that's okay. Maybe that's all cats. Maybe cat's just supposed to be a little servant helper buddy, you know? I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I just don't know. We need a builder though. I'm just gonna get a random builder because I won't be here for very long. It doesn't matter. Chemistry. You like chemistry? Okay, buddy. But also you're gonna build. Go forth and build. Give me those levels, dude. I need to steal some stuff too. I need to steal this bunk bed. There's a worm over there. I'm gonna have my catbot kill a worm, I think. Come here, catbot. Catbot can eat, by the way. And you would do that to heal. So what I mean is, like, you can literally, like, you can physically force the catbot to eat food. Like, you can context order them to eat food, and then they'll eat. What's in here? Anything? Looks like a good dungeon. There's 2 DNA frags in here too, and a dead body, and a kitchen, which is actually pretty good to get. I'm gonna steal this oven. Early game oven's interesting, isn't it? You know, it's a cool way to shake up the meta a little bit, maybe. You know.
Yeah.
For me, because now, I have to get power though. That's okay though. Power's easy. There's battery shit anywhere, aren't there? Oh, but you can't move these batteries. Okay. Slinker meat. That means the catbot must have just murked that slinker. Sure did. Building floor? No, you're not. That's a liar, dude. Charlie. For some reason, names like Charlie are funny to me for like non-people. Where'd the worm go? Isn't it in my base? Isn't it in the airlock? I don't see it in there. What happened to the worm? Are you the worm? Nah, you're just a different worm. What's this? Space rock and a recipe cache. Okay. And some money. I need a research station. Who should build it? This guy, my drunk man? I feel like Catbot could be a good builder. Just hard to get that early experience, you know?
Yeah.
But maybe that's okay too. It's kind of part of it, you know? It's just... Construction's a thing that's really frustrating to automate when it comes to things like floors. But when it comes to the bigger objects, it's probably not as big of a deal to automate it, right? Or to have to manually do it, I mean.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You know, maybe it's still just as annoying. Not sure. Bam, 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 bam. Oh my god, dude, I'm literally just so tired. When after I took a shower today, I shampoo and I conditioner, and I got out of the shower and I literally forgot to do the conditioner part, and I had to go back in the shower and do the conditioner. I was wearing underwear and socks. I had to take off my underwear and my socks, and then when I dried off, my towel was wet because I had already gotten out of the shower once. So the thing is, you can't just shampoo and not conditioner because it removes so much stuff from your hair when you shampoo.
Yeah. Usually my hair gets like really fatty if I use conditioner.
It gets what? You said fatty?
Don't.
Like greasy?
Yeah, greasy.
Maybe you're using too much.
Yeah, but I tried using like... Well, actually I can use it like only on the ends to avoid, the split ends.
Interesting.
You could also use like hair oil to do that. But yeah, I think it depends on how much like grease your hair is producing.
Yeah, I don't know. This poor person with their poor head. What's that shrug they just did? Why'd you just do a shrug? What's the shrug you added?
That's some... Yeah. There's something with animation pose when they start walking, but...
Oh, you didn't do that on purpose? It's kind of funny.
Nah.
It's like they like stand up and like shrug their shoulders, dude. Like, why do they do that? It's because like there's
yeah, it's just before they start walking. It must be something where the states are not synced up. Probably the...
Is there a chance that some of these issues are because of inconsistencies with animation events or anything like that type?
Yeah, definitely. That's... It's just...
Well, if you convert them to the new animation system where they don't have to use animation events in the poses, then we don't have to worry about fixing this. And that would be a more standardized way to do it anyway.
Yeah.
And I really don't think that hard to implement, for what it's worth, man.
Yeah.
We just have to manually enter the data. She's pooping. We have to manually enter the data. Also, she's high on something. Is she Space Rock, maybe? No, she's the one who got drunk forever ago. Well, she was a bus driver, so she was used to it. This guy's sleeping. His poor head. But you maybe haven't fixed it. I don't know. Same thing here, though. This poor guy's head.
Yeah, the thing is, I fixed it, but then it started happening again. But then when I rotated the camera around a few times, it stopped. So it's like... It's weird because it doesn't always happen.
What do you mean it stops? Do you mean that it only happens from 2 angles? Or do you mean that you can rotate the camera all 4 directions and eventually it fixes itself and you just keep rotating and it's always fixed?
Yeah.
Because that's not happening for me. Those certain angles always seem to be broken.
It just gets worse.
I'm guessing that there's weirdnesses with the maybe sprite library component. Again, the poses just seem to be causing issues. Also, if these things can't sort themselves out, we'll have to revert the entire animation system and use the old one.
Yeah.
Like probably by like the end of next week or something, if it's not finished, so let's revert it.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have any real difference to the player.
Yeah.
And I personally am not just going to whack them all these random little animation issues and just hope that I find them all, just revert it and know that it's fine.
Yeah, there were like a bunch of base positions that were missing for like the torso and the arms and also the legs, I think. And I just went back to like an earlier version and sort of like copied them into the file from GitHub.
Is there a reason you did a base position change instead? Also, just so you know, if you do a base position change like this, it applies until you undo it.
Because that's how it was set up before, so that's...
This is how it's always worked, though. Is it'll apply them for all these changes. They apply them until you give it a different value to use.
Yeah.
So if you set like the base position in some pose, and then maybe from like, let's say kneel, and then maybe kneel, let's say set the base position to 1000, and then kneel, they go from maybe kneeling to, I don't know, punching or something, doesn't matter, walking directly, maybe they never stand up, for example, and then the thing doesn't get changed back, it'll just stay at its bad position forever.
Yeah. So the local position, it will go back to
No,
some
none of
kind
them.
of default.
No, none of the values will ever
Okay.
revert. None of the values for any of the poses will ever go back to anything ever. Once you set them, they're set forever until you set them to something else.
What's the difference between the local and the base position?
Really nothing. Internally, there's no difference. They're just two of the same offsets. You would set the reason you'd use the base position if you wanted to maybe for sleeping, for example, you want the torso to be positioned differently when they're sleeping because they're lower to the ground or something. And then within that, maybe you want to have like sleep 1, sleep 2, sleep 3, where the columns move slightly. So it's like that way you could have it move slightly by having a small offset.
Like
that's the intention of it. Yeah, but they're both the same thing.
Sort 2 layers, yeah.
Yeah, and the algorithm is both the same thing. The final position is just the base position plus the local position. It's not actually different.
Yeah.
So you can use them both to achieve the same results. It's just two separate ways of doing it. And also probably it's there for legacy reasons or something too. As is
Yeah, it was
often the
definitely
case.
good to have like 2 different ones, so...
So see here, this column is, his torso's messed up. Now if I rotate it, will this guy fix himself? I'm guessing not. You see a lot of rotations. Just really get them reps in. Doesn't seem to be the case. And there's nothing functional about sleeping that would make them, their animation offset things break when they rotate. I'm saying sleeping specially. I'm just saying about sleeping specifically. That's like unique. That's like, oh, sleeping, they're definitely gonna do it. Unless maybe the sleeping position has some different things that the other stuff doesn't have. You know, maybe the sleeping thing uses offsets on like the leg and maybe nothing else does. For example, maybe the leg's broken, you know, could be something like that. This colonist just stood up but didn't stand up quite correctly. So his head was low. He was like a little person. Like a little baby or something, like a little toddler. For 1 second. Why was he even kneeling at all? Maybe for the floor or something? Is that a thing he does? Oh, he's trapped in here too. Alright, delete this, dude. Let's go airlock. What's this? Fixing an object. So that could be an instance as well where maybe in stand they're supposed to be doing something they're not doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is the colonist's head's render order supposed to be behind the torso in this situation that I'm showing on stream right now?
I think so.
Okay. Because there was a second where his neck was exposed. The thing is, like, if you refresh or if you rotate a bunch and it fixes it, that's, you know, there's worse things, right? So, because then that means that probably it just isn't refreshing correctly or something like that. Or maybe two competing things are trying to do something on a colonist.
Yeah.
Let me make sure. You didn't add a 2.5 dimensional sprite component to anything, did you, by any chance?
No. Was I supposed to?
No. It would break if you did. That's why I was asking if you did. I was like, you didn't have to do that, did you? Let me do something. Add a warning real quick just to make sure that none of that gets added so that we don't have to remember not to do it. It'll just tell us. Debug.log. Blah, 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 blah. We're going to debug the log warning. We're doing 4, so when we build the agent library, it'll automatically tell us if something is configured incorrectly, which is pretty helpful. Otherwise, we just have to remember. And that's never good. Okay. There is both a type of 2.5, you punk, and type of sprite library asset component on agent plus this plus this. This is not allowed because both of these components handle rotating geometrics. Something like this. Whatever, doesn't matter. Okay. By the way, Victor, if you can rotate the camera and then like the sleeping things, they fix themselves, or if they tend to be correct most of the time, if you can just get reproduction steps, oh, I see what's happening here. And if you can get reproduction steps, it's usually pretty easy for you to fix it.
Alright, yeah.
Like if the values that you're supplying, my point is, if they're good, then it's good. If they're not, then you got to fix the values that you've got. But if they're good values and they're not being used correctly, then that's something that's a bug, and that's no problem. Just try to do your due diligence to double check if they're bigs or not. God, this incubation tank, I can't wait to get rid of it. It was just in the way,
Yeah.
I need power for something. I stole something, like an oven. I stole an oven. Interesting. The head does move, though, sometimes. See, this colonist, they're just doing walking, and their shoulders are shrugging when they're walking.
Yeah.
Which would be just all the walk poses. Now, it looks like the head moves. So it's interesting that the shoulders are moving, but the head's not moving.
I'm not sure which, if the head is supposed to move in that situation, or if the shoulders aren't supposed to move.
Could it be a rotation issue? It seems to happen a lot when they rotate.
Could be, yeah.
Maybe when it rotates, it refreshes in a weird way, or does something strange. Perhaps the pose changes need to be reapplied when the sprite's changed. I don't think that's the case, but that could be, maybe.
Yeah. But was the old system, doing that?
I don't know. Maybe. I copy and pasted from the 2.5 dimensional sprite component, so I just had to convert a bunch of the stuff over. There's a chance I didn't convert some of the stuff correctly. I mean, that's always possible. For example, there's a event that I'm invoking called onSpriteChanged, But,
because I don't think the animations like loop in a way where they would refresh it. And in some instances they could do that.
I meant rotating the camera.
Yeah.
Like if you can rotate the camera, then it will fix itself, and the values are fine. Yeah. But if that doesn't fix itself, then probably the values aren't fine. Of course, the values could still be fine, just the bugs won't let them get applied correctly. Like that could also be true as well. But if you rotate the camera, and then they fix themselves, that's good news for you, because that means that your values are good. They're just not being applied correctly. If you rotate the camera and they're not applied, it either means that your values are bad, or that there's just another bug that just prevents it. So you just, you don't get that much information, but at least you'll know a little bit of something. So, like this one here, this head guy that I'm showing right now, his head was detached. I rotated the camera a bunch and it fixed itself. But every time I rotate the camera, it reapplies the things. Anyway, there's only one thing that I'm not doing. At least I think there's one thing. Invoking onSpriteChange, I'm guessing. And perhaps when I invoke onSpriteChange, maybe it does some things like it refreshes.
Can you try picking up the columns and see?
Why? Like, why do you want
that's an animation
what do you want
that
to
I fixed
see?
That should be fixed.
Yeah, but what do you want to see? Like, what are you hoping to get out of it? So
I'm
I'm going to pick
it
up
fixed.
and I want to I want to know what yeah, but what's fixed? Like what was broken before, so I can see as well.
Oh, it was all kind of crazy. Like it wasn't like removing the old arms, so there were like duplicate arms and stuff. And the positions, the pivot offsets weren't being applied as well.
Change pose to blah 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 blah. I'm looking for 2 dimensional back. I'm gonna refresh the sprite right here, right here, right here. Hopefully not there, right? Ugh, hideous, just hideous. Refreshing the pose, refreshing the library asset. What is this? Why is this here? This should be above. This should not be below. That's interesting. Oh, I see. It's because of there. How fun. So that's the only one? Okay. 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 But that's this, right? It's not bad. Who invokes this? Refresh sprite pros? Okay. 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 Alright, there's one more thing to check on, which is what happens when the sprite gets changed. On sprite change, there's a chance that in the sprite render component, it is doing something. Like refreshing offsets or something. You know? It's doing something it's not doing here. What's this? Change sprite face to blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. No, probably not. Probably not that either. Probably not, probably not. Probably neither one of these things either. What is this? Not that, not that, not that, not that, not that, and not that. Doesn't look like it's doing anything at all that would affect this. I don't think it is. I don't think it's doing anything. It doesn't look like it's doing anything in the code that would be preventing this from working. So, you want me to pick up this dude? For some reason, you're like, pick him up. I picked him up.
Yeah.
The head was just attached from the torso for a second. The torso and the head were not attached in the animation, though. Shouldn't all of these things have still just worked? What's up?
I don't know.
Would you change anything like in an underlying fashion that would break these things? For example, the pivot positions of the sprites, that sort of thing, for more than just the heads.
Well, there were a bunch of like missing base positions that I added back. There might.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about anything good with them besides that. Because if the base positions, if you did in fact use the correct base positions, the exact same ones that were that they were using before, and everything was the exact same, then everything should just still work just fine. Shouldn't it? So like,
I didn't change like the right defaults on the animator.
I don't. Oh, okay. Like, but did you change anything with the sprites, like the position of the sprites, something like that? Like with heads?
No.
Because the sleeping head, I think it was messed up, and you said that you would change the offsets or something like that.
Yeah. And
so like, did you do that in other places though?
No.
Okay. Why'd you change them for the head?
Because I had copied like the values from the front heads, and then I had realized that they were supposed to be different.
I guess I don't understand what you mean. Because did you make new sprites?
Yeah, because I separated them into like 2 separate textures. One for the front and one for the back.
Are they still in 2 separate textures?
Yeah.
Oh god. They shouldn't be in 2. They should be in the same texture, dude. Because Unity does weird things if you change the textures. Like, yeah, I gotta update the thing. They should be in 1 texture as well. Were they in 1 texture before?
Yes.
Well, maybe what it's doing, it might be refreshing the material properties if you change the sprite because the texture has changed. That's a difference. When you rotate the camera. What about like the back? So like, is the back torso in a different texture?
Yes.
So all the backs are in different textures.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's causing issues. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. Just saying it wasn't like that before, though. Just looking for things that are different. If all the I'm saying if all the values are the exact same, if the underlying code is the exact same, like something has something is different.
Yeah.
Like dangling. The dangling doesn't seem to work correctly if I'm not even rotating the camera. If I'm just standing there. Like it just happened. They just did like a weird pivot, like a weird. You'll see it in a couple seconds. The guy's shoulders like move to the left or right or something, and the head doesn't come with him unless they did that before. I don't know. Maybe.
That's definitely not supposed to happen.
Yeah, and in this case, it seems like. Oh my god, that worm's attacking this guy.
It's super weird because that's not like part of that animation.
What's that part of the animation?
It doing that, you know.
Wiggling?
Yeah.
Well, it's wiggling somehow.
Yeah.
No, Stellar Victor doesn't make the music, but that would be epic. This is just a playlist he's recommended, though. But anyway, it's doing it somehow. One of the poses is doing it, or something, then.
Yeah.
When you said you fixed the issues with the when they're being picked up, how did you fix that?
The issue was missing base positions, and there was something with animation as well, I think.
What about an animation?
Do not remember the specifics.
I'm asking because how you fix it, it could matter because it doesn't work still, and so like maybe you fix it in a way that was unnecessary or something like that. Because many of these things aren't working right now, so that's why I'm asking how you fixed it.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you remember anything about how you fixed it in the animation? Like, what do you mean there's an animation issue?
Let me look at it.
Like, do you remember anything about how you fixed it? Like, did you have to change the pose or something? Also, what's the pose type for them being, what, dangled or something, maybe?
Yeah.
And so which ones do that? Yeah, I'll also go through here just make sure that there's not over ones of these.
Oh yeah, I remember. I set like the arms to like a blank animation because the arms isn't supposed. Like in the animator, there's
blank animation. Like, what do you mean?
An animation that doesn't do anything.
And it used to do something. So they used to change an arm or something.
It used to be like no animation, and I set it to like a blank animation because.
But the arms, the arms weren't moving before. Is that what you're saying? But now they move. Is that what you mean? I guess I don't know what you mean. Like, how would that fix anything? I guess.
I mean, the animator has like these layers, so it has like the base, it has the arms and the head. And when they're dangling, like the base controls the arms, which is why I have like a blank animation for the arms because the base is controlling the arms.
And before it had no animation, you said.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if that did.
Well, so we did move away from this, but there's some legacy things that we're trying to get converted. Otherwise, I thought we were moving away too. Be nice. But anyway, so how would that fix it though? Because if it went from having no animation to just an empty animation, like wouldn't that still go from doing nothing?
Yeah, I'm not sure if that actually did anything, but it's like a cleaner.
So
it's what I did for like the stagger animations. So
but I mean, oh, I see. You shouldn't change things unless you have a reason to change things ever. Like, because you might just break them on accident. That happens often with not with developers. I mean, not with developers. But that shouldn't matter. So then how did you fix the dangle then? It was just the animation pose offsets? Or it was just the pose stuff?
I think that's base positions mainly.
Are you sure you put the base positions on everything correctly? Like, how do you know? Like, did you put them on the head, for example?
Yeah, like the head and the torso. Yeah, it's pretty much only the head and the torso, I think.
Right. So there's a chance that the animations. So you promised me you didn't change anything with any animations. Because if you didn't change anything with animations, and if the poses are the same, then something changed. Something had to have changed to make it not work.
Yeah, but the issue seems to be the same as what's happening with the other animations as well. It doesn't seem to be specific to
If
the
we
dangling
find right, if
animation.
you find out why it happens in one, you can apply it to everything. You have to find how it works,
Yeah,
why it works in a
yeah.
specific one. It doesn't matter what happens in other ones. But in this one, so that's what I'm asking. What you changed? You said it didn't. How do you know it wasn't working before the dangle animation? What made you say it wasn't
Because
working?
it looked completely broken.
Yeah, but what does that mean? It looks broken.
Like everything was in the wrong place. There
The
were
legs even?
multiple arms being rendered.
Multiple arms being rendered. That's a lot of stuff. But so you only fix that by changing the torso and the head.
Let's see what.
That's why I'm asking. Like, what what was? Why didn't it work before? What's?
Oh no, I think I had to change the sprite library used for the arms and set it to none.
What arms? Like the default one? Like, what do you mean?
The arms when they're in the dangle position, I had to set them to like the sprite library of none,
Why?
so that they would not render twice.
But why are they rendered twice? I guess I don't understand. Why are they rendered
Because
twice?
the dangle animation has like the
Uh-huh.
body and arm combined.
Oh, it's a weird one. That's why, huh?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to change that if there's gear.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, if the columns is just sitting here dangling, there's nothing in code that would be forcing them to just refresh or anything like that. So sometimes when the head offset's weird, it would suggest to me that there's at least one. There's probably something else then. If you promise me that you didn't change anything, if you could pinky promise me that you didn't change anything, then it would suggest that there's something else acting on the sprites. There's something else doing something to them at the same time. That would be the only other explanation, right?
Yeah. I mean, they do have the blinking animation, but they had that blinking
son of a
animation
bitch.
before.
So they blink sometimes independently? Something like that might happen? Like
Yeah,
could
but they did
dangle and
that
blink?
before.
Are you positive they did it before then?
Yes.
No, I mean, are you positive that they actually blinked before? Like that maybe it was set up. Like you didn't change any of the transitions, nothing like that. I always hate when you say after one, because I've asked you 100 different ways to make sure nothing has changed. Then the thing is, here's what happened. Here's why I keep asking you, because you like reveal little things. Like, well, actually, I had to change the like for the thing. Like, well, actually, I had to change the arms too. I'm like, what? What do you mean? That's why I'm asking. So it's like, well, did you change anything? Because the animation events are so finicky. Like if you change like a transition or something, if you maybe made one slightly smaller or something, maybe you even change the value on the animator, that maybe how it updates or something. You know what I mean? Just there could be some little thing that changed. Because if it stops working, you gotta look for, okay, what's different? What's different from then to now?
Yeah, but it was broken before.
What was broken before?
Like the thing where they do like the shrug thing.
What shrug thing? Which shrug thing? The one where they stand up?
Yeah, and they like
Well,
shrug
I
their.
don't care about that. I'm
shrug.
talking about the dang. Well, yeah, okay, that's fine. But what about the dangle? Did they do that before? Did the head sometimes get off center when they were dangling before?
Well, the dangling animation wasn't working from the start, so...
No, I mean before the new
trouble.
animation system.
No.
Were they shrugging before? Okay, were they do in the old animation system? Were they do the shrug sometimes?
No.
Okay, so when you say it was working, it was doing it before. You mean you just we haven't fixed it yet?
Yes.
Like, I guess I don't know. Okay. Oh, that's
So
okay.
any changes I've been making has been, you know, trying to fix and make everything more sort of consistent.
Right, but when you say those things like making more consistent, that's what I gotta ask. Like, what changed? You know, what did you do? Did you? Because maybe you didn't do anything. Maybe the code's bugged. But I'm asking. I have to know what you did.
Like with the right defaults, for example.
Right. Okay, but back to the dangle head thing. Okay, if the head's moving and there's no animation that's doing it, then it's something else that's causing it. And I don't think it has anything to do with rotating, but we could see if it does. Also, it's possible that it happens for the head, but not the helmet slot as well. I guess that's possible. So I should take off their helmet. So I didn't see it happen on a helmet before. I've only seen it happen on a head before. That's a different slot. For example, maybe if the renderer is hidden or something, it breaks something, you know? Doesn't seem to be the case, though, here. What if you, like, move them around? Does that do something? Nah, it doesn't seem to do anything. So you gotta reproduce this. If you can't reproduce it, then it's really hard to fix it, you know? So that's why it matters.
Okay. Yeah, of course.
What is this? What happened to him? Come here, little head boy. Come here, head boy. Is there one that you can consistently make not work? This position for sleeping in this bed is all sorts of messed up. It would seem to be. It's too high or something in the bunk bed. He's too high. By the way, I need to have another guy sleep in this bunk bed real quick. Come sleep with this guy. Another colonist on their way? Shut up. Nuh-uh. Why can't he sleep in this bed? Can you not context order two people sleep in the same bed? Is that a bug? In the same bunk bed? Because they both sleep in the same bed. But maybe they can't do it via context order. That could be the bug, you know? Okay. A lot of sleeping speech bubbles. If I go this direction, the guy, you can't see his head. Or his head gets detached, right? So this cat bot is in the top left corner. No head. And still seems to be the case with these two.
Yeah.
Now Victor says that sometimes it fixes itself. The head fixes itself specifically. Like it's just sort of like. But did you mean it for this one though? Maybe you didn't, or maybe you said it but it wasn't accurate. I'm not trying to. By the way, I'm very tired. I'm not trying to accuse you. I'm just trying to fix this. And so I'm just asking, like, okay, like when you said, I'm taking seriously what you're saying. You're saying it rotates something, like, or maybe you said it, but perhaps, you know, you could say something that you wasn't quite accurate. You're like, ooh, I didn't say it right or something. Maybe it's like you misremembered, for example.
Well, I think I made one base position change on my end after you merged this into master.
I merged this into master this morning. I'm just telling us when I did it. Like right before, probably like 30 minutes
and I made some changes like an hour ago or something. Yeah.
Did you commit those? Because I see animation fixes. Is that what you're talking about?
No. I did not commit those yet.
Oh. Okay.
Because I'm still investigating.
But you're saying you can reproduce his behavior. Like, I guess I'm confused. So you told me that to say that you might be observing phenomena that I'm not observing or something like that.
Yeah.
Did you change something? Because you should be able to see your local changes that would account for that. Like, you're saying it fixes itself. Like, so did you change something that would make it fix itself, you think? Like, for example, did you change the sleeping positions or something?
I changed the base positions for sleeping for the heads.
What did you change them to?
-0.
By the way, you don't necessarily have to change the texture. Back to how it was before. I'm just telling you that that is a difference, and that doesn't. It's not necessarily trivial.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. If I look at the sprite library asset component, we need rotates. It's when the camera rotates, because you're saying that when you rotate the camera, and I observed this as well, that like, the legs got messed up. I was rotating the camera.
Yeah, yeah.
It also seems to, the columns seem to mess up when they themselves rotate. And when a columnist rotates or if the camera rotates, internally it's not any different to the system. So if you see aberrant behavior in one, you'd expect to see aberrant behavior in the other. That's reasonable, by the way. By the way, the odds
I'm pretty sure
the odds that like there's a bug in the code port are high. It's very high. It's always going to be high. But it's just hard to find.
Right.
The important thing is like, you know, if you change something that's causing some other behavior, it's like a clue. It's like oh, I see. You know, like maybe if you, you know, gave it a pose. So for example, you set all those poses, and then I was like, oh, okay. You tell position offsets. Then I can look at it and be like, oh, okay. Maybe they're not being reverted correctly. Maybe there's something here happening. Maybe this is happening. You know, just trying to find, you know, a change. Because I don't think I was ever observing behavior before you did these changes in the new animation system, in which the offsets would change sometimes. But also, most of the offsets weren't even being used before you added them back. So that doesn't mean that that doesn't mean that you broke anything. It could be that the bug was already there. It's just, it's good for me to know what you changed, because I can be like, okay, did you do something that would cause this aberrant behavior, or was it there on the, because the thing is, when I have to Sherlock Holmes it, I had to spend a lot of time doing it. I got to spend a lot of time like going into it, trying to replicate it first, and then adding debug messages, and then be like, okay, what is this doing? Why is this doing it? And it's a real pain in the butt.
Still trying to figure out like exactly what is going on.
Yeah, really, if you can just get reproduction, that's the most important thing. Like, if you can just be like, well, when they rotate, it does this, or only sometimes when it's you know what I mean? I would suspect that if you rotate the camera while they're walking, it would probably create some of the behavior you were seeing before, where their shoulders shrug when they stand up, but also maybe not. It could be something with rotating. There's also a chance that some sort of floating point issue, which would be interesting. There's also a small difference between the sprite library asset component and the 2.5 dimensional sprite component, which is that the angles that they use are not the exact same. At least I don't think so. Also, the local scale is set on the new ones as opposed to the flip on the sprite renderer. But I think I'll just switch it back to the flip on the sprite renderer, though. I don't see any reason to not do the flip on it. Do you have any reason to not do the flip?
I'm not sure. I think maybe the scale might be more consistent.
Consistent how?
Consistent in that it scales sort of like everything.
So that'd be if they have a child or something on them, you mean?
Yeah.
Like if there was a sprite called head, and child of the head was something called decal. I don't know, right? And then you just flip the scale once you have to flip decal. That's assuming that works correctly. That decals doesn't get all weird if it's a sprite. That seems like the type of thing that, I don't know. The thing is, changing the scale shouldn't matter. That's like such a basic thing. If anything, changing the scale should be more stable than setting the sprite render to flip. You would think.
Yeah.
Maybe not, though. I don't know.
Flipping still flips like the pivot points, right?
I don't know what that means. What do you mean by that? The pivot points of what?
Of the sprite that's being flipped.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe. I would think so. I don't know. I don't know. How do you test that? I don't know. I would think it would, but I don't know.
Oh, it has to.
Yeah, I don't know. I would imagine it would, but I don't know. No. What aberrant behavior, like what would you see if it wasn't doing that?
I'm not sure. I think it absolutely has to do that, because otherwise it would just be physically like
you'd probably expect that, probably, right? Like if you did it from the other side, it probably would just be all sorts of weird, I would guess. But maybe not. Maybe most of the local positions aren't that different. Anyway, when this dude rotates, all it does is it recalculates the angle, which is doing nothing. That on its own isn't going to be explaining any weird behavior. And then it's refreshing the sprite. Now there is a chance that when it rotates, it could be rotating twice. There could be something like that that's happening in the code, maybe, that wasn't happening before. That sort of thing's possible. That like, it applies rotation twice, which somehow breaks things. I'm just giving examples of how it could very easily be a code thing that broke. It's quite likely that it's a code thing that broke. But there's two ways that cause bugs. It's either the code's bad or the object setup in Unity is bad, right? So typically it's one of those two things. But the behavior, this specific behavior is sort of weird.
Could it be something where the new system is like faster than the old system, which is why you can now see like it's some weird like sync issue with animations?
Oh gosh, I mean maybe.
Because maybe the old system was like working on a different sort of frame rate.
I mean, maybe. I don't think that's true. It's a really interesting idea, but
the shrug happens.
I don't
like so
know
quickly.
if that's true though.
Or maybe it's the opposite. It's like it's happening
Sure.
slower.
Sure. It could be happening slower because of the Unity system, because Unity is the guy who changes the sprite. So it could be that the sprite gets changed. But if you had the game paused and you rotated the camera, it should just be a frame, but Unity's weird sometimes. I don't know, you know. But anyway, if that's the case, then if you pause the game and rotate the camera and you can replicate it, you should still only be able to see it for like one sort of frame or something. It's for a little bit of time, you know? Whereas if it's not that, if it's something else, then if you pause the game, then it should stay. Like if you keep the game paused for 10 minutes, it should be broken. When you unpause, as soon as the pose is refreshed, then it should fix itself, I would think. You would think that's if you're looking at it in that sense, right? Like if you're trying to do a test to figure out, okay, is this happening or not? Your hypothesis, which is interesting. It's an interesting thing. If that is the case, that's how I would suspect that you could, disprove it, which is pause the game, see if you can replicate the behavior, blah, 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 blah. Because that's interesting. If that is the case, I could just delay everything by a single frame. That's no problem. I can do that. That could be what I need to do, perhaps. I don't know. But it doesn't explain the aberrant behavior in dangling, though, when I'm not rotating the camera at all. That's weird, you know?
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now to see if what's going on with like all the different layers, if there's something in a layer that's affecting.
To me, the fact that dangling gets messed up when nothing else is happening, it really just makes me think that something else is changing the sprites. Again, it doesn't seem to be blinking. Oops, I should go back out of this. It doesn't seem to be.
It doesn't happen at the same time as the blinking, but it does seem to happen sort of somehow in sync with the blinking. Like
so it could be the blinking then. So it could be the pose. It could be something with the pose. The blink does something. Perhaps use the blink pose. It's doing something weird that it's not doing before. But again, it's not replicatable for me on my end, even though it was earlier. It wasn't replicatable before either, but it happened. What if I do something with rotating? Here's a good one. Here's one that it could be actually, mind you. Is there a back face? How does it work when they dangle? First of all, how are they displaying this body part right now? How does this happen? Do you remember off the top of your head? Because here's this thing. I picked up this colonist. He was not facing me. I picked him up. He's now facing me. That's weird, right? I guarantee the pose wasn't told. What?
The dangling has some like I remember specifically asking you like to make sure that they're always facing like the player.
Right, but that doesn't matter. No, but internally they don't have to, if they did or did not, if nothing was broken about it to the player, so I just didn't do it. But I'm saying that could be part of the reproduction steps, is if you pick up a colonist when they're not facing you, the same direction they're going to end up with, that could be, maybe that could cause some of the weirdness I'm saying, That's what I mean.
But I was also seeing like the shrug animation when they're just standing still, like when they're in draft mode and they're just standing.
You tell me if I just draft somebody, they will eventually just shrug.
Yeah.
That to me sounds like something with the blink then, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so if that's the case, it really could be the right defaults thing. It might not be, by the way. I'm not saying it has to be the right default thing, but it could be the right defaults thing. Because that is something that's weird. If not, it's something it just happened to my dude, by the way.
It's really weird that it doesn't happen and the colony is just like blinking,
Yeah,
and
it's
then all of a
weird.
sudden it starts happening.
It's definitely from blinking, I would guess, because I just saw it on stream. He blinks and then his shoulders move like right after. It's like
Wait. When I was
very
testing like the
strange.
kneeling animation,
Hey, could it
I
be the
had
speech bubble?
speech bubble.
Yeah, he just put a speech bubble and then he messed up. Could it be the speech bubble somehow? The speech bubble is a body part. Could it be that somehow? I'm just saying, nope, it's not. He didn't do speech
Maybe.
bubble. Are you sure you didn't
But-
add some sort of periodic shrug animation somehow? Because where the heck is this shrug coming? Did you add like an idle animation or something?
Well, there's only like the blink animation, and it would be if the blink is somehow forcing
I see.
the
I was
other
making sure.
to
Because
update
see, this is
somehow.
happening. Like once it starts, the fun can't stop. Like if you watch this guy, it's like it seems to be increasing in frequency. It's possible to increase in frequency if something is something that's like queuing a callback, or it says, "Hey, do this next frame," and maybe it gets queued up multiple times. Something like that could be happening. That like again could
Just
be related
now,
to speech
like an
bubbles.
hour ago when I was
Yeah.
testing the kneeling animation, I had this one person kneel. He was like fixing a door, and then all of a sudden, like a colonist that was in draft mode, just standing there, also kneeled, but got messed up while kneeling. And that person wasn't even supposed to be kneel. Yeah,
You're saying
so
a different colonist knelt.
yeah, but like in a broken way. So could it be like object pool recycling?
No, I doubt that.
Because why would they affect each other?
Well,
like
I would need more information than what you just gave me.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, because first of all,
Like
there's
what
a chance
if
that the
you only have like one colonist? Would it still happen?
Oh, I don't know. You could see if it would.
Yeah.
Um.
I'll have to test out.
Oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting theory that you just had. Okay, so here's what I'll do. I'm going to. So you're telling me if I draft everybody, this is a working theory of yours, right? If I just draft every single person and don't make them move, let's see what happens, Captain.
Oh, and then everything should just be the same, right?
Take off your helmet. Well, they're blinking still.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm just saying, like, so, like, that they're doing something. These other people aren't blinking, by the way. Why not? Why is only she blinking? She's being a colonist. They're doing nothing. Probably because I wonder why they're gonna.
That is very strange.
Well, I don't think it's that. Well, I mean, it's probably just because I drafted them, then picked them up. It could be something with that, Maybe that just prevents them from blinking correctly. If I have him walk.
The blinking animation is set up in a way where if they're not set to be walking, they will blink occasionally. Like when walking is false.
So if I pick him up
There's
when
a-
he's in his bed, that would probably do it, right? Or if they're completely standing still, maybe. But if I pick him up in his bed, this should do it, right?
But you can see right now there's no shrugging at all happening.
Oh, hang on. Oh, I see. You have a delay. Now I have two blinkers, and it happened, by the way, when I picked him up out of his bed. But I can't say for sure if that was related. I'm going to try it with two people.
Yeah, I saw like the body go like down for a bit.
Yeah, I'm going to put this other guy back in
So
bed.
was his
Hang on, don't
was
say
his
anything.
sleeping position affecting
No, I doubt
her
it.
torso?
I mean, I can't say that for sure that it's a sleeping position. All I know is it didn't happen until the dude started moving. Again, I'm not saying it's the sleeping. That's too specific. The sleeping. I don't know. But I would reckon that.
Down as if
Again,
having, like, the
hang on.
opposite
You're
of
focusing on the wrong spot.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it was sleeping. Yes, I saw what you saw. I saw exactly what you saw. Yes, for sure. For sure. I'm not saying that didn't happen. And it happened for sure probably as a result of this other guy. We don't know that for sure. And it didn't seem to be sleeping because it happened before he even started sleeping. It happened when he was like walking. That's why I'm saying I don't know. Was it sleeping? I don't know. Because you said it was a sleeping position. I'm like maybe, but I don't know. It could just be from him walking. Like if I just make him walk, if I make him sit, for example, somewhere, I wonder if it would happen. If I have him sit in a toilet, which is a different animation. This is something to debug, right?
Yeah, but to me it looked like the body
it's
was
not, it
moved
doesn't seem to
down
be sleeping
like
at all.
6 pixels, which is the offset for the sleeping.
Yeah, again, you're fixating too much. It doesn't. Yeah, it definitely happens, as with me having to walk, sleep, picking him up, that sort of thing, for sure. But it probably isn't specific to sleeping. It's probably not something that sleeping is doing. Like it seems like if I just make him walk, he does it, for example.
Yeah,
By the way,
yeah.
it could be
But
something
not
from having
to
multiple
the same
guys
extent.
rendered at the same time. Is there a chance that the shader's different or anything like that?
Shader? No.
Like they're bashing together, perhaps? I'm just saying. I'm just saying things that could be. Not things that it is, just things that it could be.
Yeah, it could be a batching issue, but they're not supposed to be batching. And nothing with the shader has changed to make them batch.
I was asking. Nothing with that.
Yeah.
How do I make this? So
But
how to make this? How to make a person blink if they're not blinking already?
I don't know why they wouldn't blink. Like, is walking
Well, you
set to true?
with with confidence, you said like if they do this. I'm just curious if you know more about it. Then
Yeah, I'm not sure why they're not blinking right now because
if I just pick up a
It's on.
colonist, it should do something like consistently, right? Because pick up the colonist changes their pose and does weird things. Okay. I want to do blinking because it'd be easy. Because if I have them blink, then it's just something else that they're both doing at the same time. I don't know if I necessarily want to change this manually though, because it might break something. But I guess I'll have to. I gotta go very soon too.
Yeah.
Colonist model. This one. This one. This one. Let's go all the way out for the viewers back home. Is walking is set to false with this buddy, with this guy. But he does not seem to be blinking. Unless he is blinking if I do this. He's doing don't you go a different layer? Like head probably?
He has like the has eyes open, but that's I think they're supposed to have that.
Seems to
What's
be
different
true.
between the animators for the one that's blinking and the others?
Well, I'm just gonna trigger blink. How is blink triggered?
You see like the transition that has like multiple arrows, like 3 arrows.
Uh-huh.
From eyes open to eyes squint. There's like a exit time. And it's
I
not
see.
trigger blink.
So it'll never do it again, probably. That's only true because it doesn't loop.
Oh no, it's like it goes back to eyes open. And then it waits.
So what are you telling me? Like, why are you
for the
saying this
exit
right
time.
now? Also, with these conditions, you have is walking is false.
Yeah.
Why?
It's because if they're not walking, they're probably just standing there, right? Or sitting, or doing something.
And you don't want them to blink if that's the case? Ever?
Yeah, I don't want them to
What
blink.
if trigger
while
blink is
they're
set
walking.
to true, but they're walking? Do you still want them to blink?
Yeah, they will blink then. This specific transition is only for like when they're idle.
Well, the reason I ask, it has an exit time of 32. Does this thing loop?
No, not the animation, but it loops
Because
around.
it only have
goes back to the same
one
state.
chance, and it'll never do it again.
No, it will do it again.
No, it won't. Exit times of greater than 1 if they don't loop, or only performed once and never again.
Yes, every time the animation is played, but it goes to
Yes.
different states. It goes to the eyes squint, then it goes to the eyes closed.
But right
Then
now,
eyes squint
now it's in
and then
eyes.
it's back.
But hang on. Right now it's in eyes open. How can it ever get to eyes squint, unless trigger blink becomes true? How does trigger blink become true? Who does that?
I'm not sure.
If has eyes open equals false, he'll get out of it, but that's not going to happen either. And is walking is false. Now, first of all, has eyes open is going to stay false. There's no way that's going to get to true because he's just standing there doing nothing, right? Now, this one is walking is false, but because the exit time is 32, it's only tried once because it doesn't loop. I believe that's how it works. It's only tried once, never again, and then which would be like 32 times after like it's over, like the normalized time.
You're misunderstanding what it means to be tried once, because once it goes into a different state, it can start
Right, but it's never going to go.
again.
How's it? It's never going to go in a different state though. I'm looking at the trend. There's 3
It is.
transitions. How? Tell me how.
It's gonna wait for the exit time, which is 32. Then it will move to eye squint.
Okay, but right.
And then from eye squint, it will move to eyes closed.
Right, but I'm saying the exit times, they're only tried once if it doesn't loop, and it's over if it's greater than 1. That's what I'm telling you. So if the condition, if they're just standing there for a long time, they're never going to do the thing. If they're standing there for after the exit time 32 happens, it'll never happen again, unless they go back to the state and restart it again. They'll never automatically start blinking again. I'm saying.
It does go back to the state.
Okay, Victor, do you agree with me on the fact that the exit time is only tried once?
Tyler,
you
listen to
disagree
me.
with that? Yes.
Listen to me. This is how it works. After the exit time has elapsed, you see, it goes to eyes closed, and then it goes back to eyes squint, and then eyes open, and then it waits again for the 32 exit time.
Oh, I don't have this guy selected. Right, but I'm telling you, if is walking was set to true, he will never leave this.
No.
That's what I'm
Which is
saying,
intended.
because of the exit time. So if you use exit, that's what I've been saying. So you're arguing, I don't know what you're arguing necessarily. I'm telling you that the exit time is only tried once.
It would never.
Huh?
You're saying like it won't loop?
Correct. It tries the exit time once. Yes, exactly what I'm saying. If it's not set to loop, if you have an exit time greater than
but
1,
in practice,
it's only tried once.
Agree that, in practice, do you agree that they will blink several times?
Oh, I mean, okay, again, it feels like you're arguing something else than what I'm telling you is right now these dudes aren't blinking. I'm trying to get them to blink, right? And you're saying these things about exit times. I'm telling you, well, the exit time isn't going to be used if enough time has elapsed. And they have just been standing there doing nothing for a long time. So there's a chance that exit time has elapsed, is what I'm saying. In this specific case, because the exit time is only tried once. So if that time goes forward, they won't ever blink, even if they're standing there doing nothing. If enough time has elapsed. If is walking was set to true, it would be the condition it would happen in.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. That's literally all I'm saying. I'm not saying they don't blink. They obviously blink, but they're not blinking right now, and they're not moving, right? So like, well, why is that? You know what I'm just saying? Well, if the only way that they blink when they're not moving, what you said is if is walking is set to false at the exit time of 32, right? Like, well, maybe then a reason that wouldn't transition.
So they have to like walk to reset that exit time?
No, they have to. Well, no, specifically, they just have to transition back to eyes open. So they have to go to eyes closed, and eyes squint, then eyes open. They wouldn't have to walk. Specifically, they wouldn't have to walk. Just the state would have to start again to hit the exit time. It'll only hit the exit time 32 once. It won't do it more than once. Unless Unity changed something with how they animate. That's all I'm telling you. Is when you set them up in that way, you have one opportunity to do it. If the conditions aren't true at that opportunity, it will never try it again. Until the state restarts again.
I see what you're saying.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it doesn't work. Yeah. And so I was why I was asking, why do they blink? Like who triggers it, who does it, and I'm thinking, okay, thing, which isn't a big deal because in practice they'll do it. But also maybe not. Maybe there's a chance that this condition happens more than you think. Like maybe there's some other condition where like, okay, they'll be set to is walking is true, but they won't blink. I don't know what I mean, whatever, something like that, right? And then once their eyes close, if they go to bed, they'll probably start blinking, I would imagine. Or they are doing eyes closed, just isn't working for some other reason as well. It's possible too, by the way. Like it's possible the state's being invoked correctly, like the animation state, I mean, but they're just not doing it because it's broken,
I was just assuming that if the exit time has elapsed, it will just wait until the walking is true and it will immediately do it.
Yeah, that'd be nice. But it doesn't.
Yeah.
Again, from the docs, yeah, it's just, Again, the only ones. Only ones. It's a hard use case, though, because, it's like, why would it, Some things you could do, if you want to stay in the animator, is you could set up like a blank state that transitions back to itself. It does nothing. It transitions back and forth. There might be other tips and tricks. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know all the stuff about animators. Okay. So if I just disable one of these guys, just pick him up maybe. Because I should be able to manually set animator values. Who is moving now? Oh, he's not drafted anymore, I see. I was like, why did he move again? Okay.
It's very finicky if you change like the animator.
Is this broken right now? Oh, he won't draft because he's got low morale, I see. What a punk, right? What a little punk. What we can do is we can ignore the draft morale requirement, though, and that'll fix that real fast. Ignore draft morale requirement. Very hard to see, but no problem. What's he taking damage from? Space Rock withdrawal? Okay. Apparently he did Space Rock at some point. I swear to God. Oh, it won't work because why? Okay. Okay, buddy. Okay. Alright, we don't... No, I need to keep him, though, unfortunately. I do need to keep this guy. So here's what we'll do instead. We're just going to disable his animator. And he's just going to walk around and do nothing, right? We'll do that. Goodbye, buddy. There. I disabled the wrong man's animator, Victor. What about this guy? He just he pooped or puked or something. Is it that guy? Come on, buddy. It must not be that guy. Oh, no, it still could be that guy, though. Go over here. Come on, crawl on the ground like a little worm. There you go. Okay. Okay, so that guy, he shouldn't be doing anything. He shouldn't be causing any problems anymore, right? So, okay. This guy is still blinking. He seems to be blinking correctly. That's no problem. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to trigger blink in one guy and see if it can affect the other guy, you know? Which guy is this?
Like she has stopped blinking, but the other guy.
Which guy is this? Oh, this is the wrong guy. How about this guy? Where's he at right now? Which guy's which guy? This guy's this guy. This guy, this guy. This guy's this guy. Trigger blink, blink, punk. So I don't think it's the blink though. I really think it's the torso offsets. Because it seems to me that what's happening is it's not that the head's moving, it's that something else is moving in this specific case, right? Like the torso's moving or something? Is that what seems to be the case? What if I make him... Whoa! He just threw up, dude. Are they getting sick from all this poop everywhere and just germs? Okay. What if I make him walk? It could be, by the way, that like this guy doesn't affect the other guy. I know for sure that purple man affects. But it's possible this guy doesn't affect him. See this? So... Oh, Gore dead. What does this do? Anything? Anything? Anything?
Is it something with the keys that makes them affect?
Is it something with the keys that makes it do it? I was saying what you said back. Trying to protect.
I have to change some keys for the helmet, I think.
No, I doubt it. What helmet keys did you change? No, because I mean, I doubt it, but maybe. What did you change?
His helmet was using head keys when it was supposed to be using helmet keys for its sprite poses.
I doubt it, but maybe. I doubt it though.
I didn't change any of the keys though.
I mean, I doubt it. I don't know though. But again, it's the torso that seems to be broken, not the head necessarily.
Yeah.
Because it seems like what happens is the torso moves aberrantly, or the arms move aberrantly. Maybe I don't know which sprites are moving. It looks like the torso moves though.
Yeah.
But it could be the arms that move. I haven't really looked at it that closely. Okay, this guy. Come here. And we're going to make him sleep. Okay. So we've definitely fixed his head by rotating enough times. What I'm going to do is make this guy walk. Or sit. Or stand. Or kneel. Or sleep. Or die. Or carry. I don't seem to be able to... Oh, there it is. What if it's literally only... It can't be only sleeping that messes it up, though. Make him sleep. And then rotate the camera once. And he's broken. Make him not sleep. It's possible that I'm...
Definitely affecting each other, right?
I would say with certainty, yeah. That seems to be the case. Yeah. But I'm trying to replicate a little bit, see? So it's kind of weird. Yeah. So check this out. So for example, if I set them to sleep, you're going to see a bit of a delay here, but it's no big deal. If I set user 1 to sleep, right? And then I move the camera around, nothing, he's not broken until it refreshes. And then it seems like what happens is eventually it stops working. And I don't know if it's on-wheel render, perhaps, something like that, because it seems to happen once the guy goes off screen. Now, as long as this guy is sleeping, he seems to be using the wrong offset. This seems to be the case. That his offset's wrong. See? And probably because this guy's sleeping. See, he's not auto-fixing itself right now. See? It's not auto-fixing itself at all. Right? But I think it's because this guy's sleeping and it has a weird offset, you know? Now, if I stop sleeping, as soon as I rotate, I suspect it'll fix itself. Which it did. Right? So it's definitely affecting each other. And I'm guessing that anything that affects the heads or the offsets or something is doing that. What else might kneeling, for example? You would expect would do it, and it does, like, pretty reliably. I could just replicate it, like, no problem. Again, the weird thing, though, is when they kneel, nothing is broken until you kind of, like, do...
So, like, the other person becomes broken, but not the one that you toggle kneel on.
Well, yeah, of course, because he's setting his offsets to the correct offsets.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And
the other guy is also setting his offsets to those wrong offsets, which is weird.
But, but not having like the correct sprites as the kneeling guy does.
If I look at this guy and I debug his renderer stuff, ooh, I'm not gonna be able to though, probably. I'm guessing that what's happening is, for whatever reason, that the renderer must be linked twice in two different dudes, or something else is happening where perhaps they're using the same material and the material changes are applied to both. Something like that could also be happening. Could also be the case.
Oh yeah.
But
because they're supposed to be like instanced materials.
Sure. Yeah, that could also be the case. I don't think that's what's happening though, because it should be using the sprite. It should be using the renderer property block. But maybe something's happening where it's not doing that. That's always possible. Is this commented out or what? That's weird. Why did I comment that out? So I'm looking at the code right quick. Ugh. Dude, I'm just too tired to be fixing bugs. It's so hard when you're tired. Sprite library asset component. What was I even doing just now? I was looking for something. I can't remember what it was. It was looking at how the materials are changed here and see what could possibly happen. Also, they use a weird renderer link component to link their renderers, and that could be causing the problems.
What do you mean weird? Like
Different.
in a way that you weren't linking them before?
Correct. Yeah. Because with the new, for you to implement the new animations, what you had to do is put all the models directly onto the colonist model, and that was not how it worked before. It's a pretty significant change. And so to make it work, the renderers are no longer being linked in the colonist at all, hopefully, and only.
So because the body already exists and it's not being like placed.
The body part model already exists, yeah. But that's not the issue. The issue is finding them is no problem. The issue is the colonist entity should not link that renderer. Like the colonist entity should not link the head renderer to itself, because that's not how it was working before. Before, the head entity would link the head renderer, because it would also be in charge of creating it. And so I had to create just a new script that would only link it in the guy who wanted it and not the other guys. Using a manual renderer link _ mono behavior. I guess it's gonna be the head. Messing up. Maybe. Maybe. There's a chance that what's happening is that the renderers are being linked twice for some reason. Maybe they're never being unlinked, for example. I'm saying there's a chance it's happening. If that is what's happening. That would happen. I don't even know how it would happen. I mean, even if something got recycled, it shouldn't have two things on it. Unless, of course, it gets a new torso somehow, and then it never unlinks the old one. In which situation would that happen? I don't know. It seems to me that the renderer should only be linked to one thing at a time anyway, though. Right? So something like this. Like this. Like link to agent, maybe. And what I can do is I can then pass the game object agent. I can pass the game object agent that is here. I can do this. Current agent. If current agent does not... How about this? I can just do it again anyway, though. Unrenderer, unlinked. Linked renderer key. We'll try that. You can just do this as well. Replace it with this. Replace it with this. Replace it with this. But also, But also, here. Main render exporter right here. And this one. I see. I see. Manual renderer instead then equals this. What did I just say? I guess I should read my code. Because this is not the right spot, buddy. This is the right spot. This here's the spot, buddy. Yeah. Okay. I see. Doesn't equal to continue, equals to continue. Okay, now we're gonna go here instead. This time we'll go to the right spot. Manual renderer equals all renderers I blah 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 blah. On renderer linked, body bloop bloop, bloop bloop bloop. Cool. Cool. Key. And once again, let's link this like so. Using a null conditioner check because the agent could be null that was passed to us. How sad would that be? Keys are the same, that shouldn't matter. Okay. Now, it could be something, Victor, with the manual renderer link. Is there a chance that it's somehow something with the sprite library asset? Because that would be a real pain in the butt.
Yeah, of course. Because it's, different from what we were using before.
If I don't think that that the sprite library asset's causing the issues though. It's definitely the pose offsets that seem to be causing the issues, and nothing else about nothing else about it seems to be causing those issues. I don't even know how to replicate it. Can you replicate it just by going to a blank scene and placing a bunch of colonists?
I would assume that you need at least 2 colonists, and then...
No, I mean, have you been able to replicate it by doing that? Like, do you know?
Wait, did you say like a blank scene?
Yeah, like the blank game scene. In which you can play the game. So not starting from the splash screen. Not drawing a colonist from scratch. Did you do that or not? Like, have you tried that, I'm asking?
Yeah, that's like the only thing I've been doing.
Okay. Well, I was only asking because that's what I'm going to try to do real quick. But if you haven't been able to do that, then I wouldn't do it that way. I would.
But you mean like with all the game logic running, like just not from
yeah. How else? Yes, because how else could you place a guy with no game logic, bro?
Yeah, because you made it seem like it was some like different way, which just threw me off a bit.
Here's the thing. So in your head, this is a good thing. If you think, man, maybe this person, if they thought this other thing, that would make more sense. But I think they think something else that doesn't make sense. Don't just assume they meant the thing that made no sense in your own head.
It was just because
yeah, because I said blank.
This is the way. This is the way I've been like testing all this time. So when you said that, you made it seem like it was like a different way from what I have been doing.
Yeah, well, there's 2 ways. You could grow the colonists at the incubation tank, right? Or you could just cheat place them. And it's slightly different if you cheat place them. So it's better if you can replicate it by cheat placing them. That's better. It's faster. It's faster to do that. But it's very important to remember that the way they're grown in game is just ever so slightly different. It's not that much different, but it's just slightly different, and perhaps different enough to cause weirdnesses or something. All right, let's lock these punks in a room together. It should never happen with one person. Now, as soon as I make 2 people, also there's a chance this won't happen now because I fixed it, but I doubt it because I don't have a lot of confidence that what I did was actually what was necessarily what was causing an issue, but it simply could have been something that was causing an issue. And it didn't fix it because it literally reproduced it immediately. Okay. Again, this is why reproduction steps matter, because when I'm trying to fix them, it's like I can't really tell. Oops. You know, so I got to try a bunch of things. What's this? What's this? Because the process to figure out if it is like it takes a lot longer to figure out how to fix something than it does to figure out what the problem is, you know? So like if you're like fixing I don't know, if something was coming out of your sink or something, like a liquid was coming out of your sink, and you turned off the water to your sink and it was still happening, you'd be like, oh, okay, it's not that. I don't need to fix my pipes necessarily. Maybe there's a demon in my sink. I gotta excise him. I said excise like he was a zit or something instead of exercise. That's my bad. Exorcise. Okay. I'm so tired. I just can't even be competent anymore. Okay. So if it's a sprite library asset component, it's got to be on post change, obviously. And then it's got to be when the post gets changed. And it's got to be when the sprite post gets refreshed. And it's got to be try refresh position. Now, it could be this. What if I'm using a static variable somewhere? That would be literally so funny to me. I would just start pooping my pants. I'll try something.
Wait, is a static variable something that's like global somehow shared?
Yeah. It's like a shared situation. That'd be really funny if it's just like an accident. That'd be like the worst. If just accidentally, it doesn't seem to be the case, but it could be the case, which would be again quite funny because it's such a basic thing to mess up, you know. It's not like I mean, most bugs are caused by basic things, but it would just be such a silly thing to stress your head about. So it's not something you'd ever check, you know. What I just did. Oh. I fixed it, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I got it, dog. I got it, buddy. There was a difference between how the sprite render component was. It was a port issue. I'm almost positive of it. I'm almost positive it's a port issue, bro. I'm almost positive I fixed it. You fucking son of a gun. You little shitbird. Ugh. I'm talking about myself right now, so good I can say this. I wasn't copying the pose. The pose. Here's what I did, man. Here's what always happens. So the pose used to be a private variable, right? That couldn't change, but it was a proto member. Well, no, it was a proto member because it could change. Then later, I'm like, oh no, it needs some default values. Now, ordinarily, I never let something be a library entry and a proto member because it's a fucking nightmare, right? Because then if you change it, the value doesn't change. Unfortunately for me, the 2.5 dimensional sprite component works because it's so old by doing the thing I hate. And so for portability reasons, I just copy pasted it because I was like, I don't want it to break. And I forgot in here I had to change anyway, just a little thing. A little oopsie, but I'm pretty sure, Victor, this is going to fix it.
Thanks.
So hopefully it does. If it doesn't, well, that's all right.
What does it smell like? It smells like peen, huh? I wonder if there's...
It's important when there's bugs that, you know, we don't flail about. You know, you really got to, like, be tactical. That's why I ask the questions. It's like, okay, do you do this? Did you do that? Did you do this? Like, okay. When you flail, it doesn't help. You don't understand.
Why does it smell like cat pee?
Do you have a cat?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a chance that the cat peed on something small? Because that cat pee's so pungent.
Yes.
Like, fuck cats, dude. I actually really like having my cats. It's really fun. Plus, there's like no mice anywhere. It's awesome. They just kill the mice. Frogs too, man. They'll kill it all. They don't care. Ugh. Alright. Okay, I'm not really sure how I feel about the catbot. It's like, I feel like the catbot... Okay, why the hell does this not work correctly? It could just be a real bug. I'm not going to worry about it too much. The thing about the catbot though is just like there's so much going on, but maybe it's just because I play so fast and crazy, you know? It's like hard to know what the catbot's doing. Also, you get the sense with the catbot that like you want the catbot to be doing something all the time, or else you're like being inefficient. You know, it doesn't really feel like a man, like a butler or nothing. You know?
Yeah.
We don't need the catbot. I just thought it'd be nice to have the catbot. You know, I thought it'd be fun. This is why I prototype though. I don't know. I'll spend like the weekend probably thinking about the catbot and how to make it more fun or something to the player. You know. Because context ordering colonists is kind of frustrating. You know, it's like not that it's okay, but it's clearly just meant to be like one-off type stuff. It's not meant to be like all the time. What if you can assign the catbot one job at a time? Would that be something maybe? So she'll do one thing. Like you can assign her one task at a time. She'll do one thing and just, you know, maybe that's something. Like she just set it to mine. She'll only mine. You can set it to move boxes. She'll only move. Set it to build. She'll only build. Could that be something that works maybe?
Yeah.
When you're so quiet like that, I'm like, would you think the idea was stupid? Like he's not saying anything, you know? Or would you hate?
No.
Tell me you hated my idea. You know, that's how I feel. Like tell me how much you hate my idea.
No, I just get a little bit freaked out by the cat pee smell.
Oh, I see. You're clearly focusing more on your problems than on Tyler's problems right now. It's my son's birthday today. Okay, he's 4 years old.
Right? Oh yeah, great.
Yeah, so it's my day today because it's Graham's day. So I just get it. It gets to me. My day. He's always saying things like, "We got a bunch of food for my birthday." He's so excited. He loves it. Every kid likes birthday stuff. Though. How could you know all the presents? It'd be so fun.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to write down an annotation, which is catbot can be assigned one thing. Also, the catbot would be a great researcher.
Yeah.
She could also possibly just be a regular colonist that can just do anything as well.
Yeah. But for research, I feel like it's more interesting if you're forced to use a colonist, because the catbot is such a like guaranteed thing.
Guaranteed thing in what way?
That you'll always have like the catbot, and
yeah. So then you have someone who always has a guaranteed research skill, though. Doesn't seem like it's necessarily a terrible idea either, though.
Well, it's nice if you have to work a little bit, like if you need colonists research.
Well, I mean, if they
progress.
Well, if the catbot was researching, you couldn't use her for anything else.
No.
Because she would be only researching. But then also, researching's kind of, it's not that fun to make a colonist sit and research either. Because you're losing one of your dudes. Like, especially early game, like you have 3 dudes, you're losing a third of your guys, right? Then you have 2 guys to do stuff. And then if you're like mining and also building, it becomes always sort of, I'm just telling you, like, I just think that the idea that like colonist researching is, I don't think that's the fun part necessarily. What you're describing is you don't want it to be too easy or something like that, maybe. Something like that, perhaps.
Yeah.
But you're still, the opportunity cost is still the same. Like the catbot's just a free colonist. It's another colonist essentially that you can do colonist stuff with.
Yeah.
It's weird they could research because she's like a robot, and maybe she can't. Maybe just that is just too weird. You know, if she can do that, but it's kind of a slippery slope if the catbot can't research. It's like, okay, well, are there other robot things that she shouldn't be able to do? You know?
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, but I like that she has a research. Like, I mean, she could just not have a research account. It's not be able to research. Like, that's no problem. It's just, and again, maybe that's totally fine. You know, it wouldn't be that hard to do.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It might be fun if she can research. Is all. It just seems like that might be fun, and she already do that. And if players don't think to do it, they don't have to do it.
Like the opportunity cost, like maybe it could make her a really good doctor, or it could make her. Like,
oh yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, that's the opportunity cost. As you have to spend all of her time researching. Like, she couldn't do anything else. Like, she would just be researching.
Yeah.
Your stuff, which is nice because it's like she's back at base. She's like the custodian of the base or something, you know? That's sort of how I would picture her. That's how I picture her, at least, is that sort of like the guardian of the base or something, you know? It's like if everyone's dead, you still have your helper that can come and do stuff for you, you know? Which is fun.
Yeah.
You know. And the skills, I think, are fun because it just makes her better over time. It helps with it. It's like she becomes like another dude, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just seems like the catbot's good for augmenting just one thing. Again, I don't know if it makes sense if the catbot can go outside, like if that's fun, like if that's something players want to do, because there's something sort of if your catbot if she has to stay on your base, then you first of all you have to have colonists. You can't not have colonists, but also it sort of forces you to consider more strongly like what types of things she'll do. And the types of things she'll do, it's not going to be research, or not going to be exploring, rather. It's going to be like base defense or farming or, crafting or something. Also, you can make her be just your full-time crafter for all the things if you want to, Because you don't have to feed her or anything like that,
No.
I also kind of like the idea that, you run out of food, everybody dies, and you can spend some amount of time with the catbot just getting more food, looking for stuff, that's kind of fun too. And I don't know, I'm not a fan of taking things away from the players just because I'm afraid that it'll make the game less fun,
Yeah.
But you have to have the confidence when you're making a game to sometimes be like, okay, well, this isn't fun. Like, just that you give them constraints. Like the player base size is a good constraint that I still don't know. I don't have the confidence to even still like it, but I still like it. I think it's more fun with the base size being constrained.
Yeah, for sure.
It's all about presentation, though. Like in RimWorld, for example, the maps is only so big. It's pretty big actually, but the map constraint size seems fair in RimWorld or in like Roller Coaster Tycoon or something, because you're in a physical place and then you understand, okay, there's a finite amount of space it can take up, but it's just something about when you have vastness of space that you can build in any arbitrary direction. It's just a different feel to it. It just seems extra arbitrary, which is hard to combat sometimes.
Yeah. Boundary, it's sort of like have the the foundation.
Yeah. Right. All right. What else? That's it. This could be it. After this, I'm just gonna pack up some stuff and get out of here. So.
No.
I have to vacuum my truck real quick. I don't know how I feel about the catbot. I like the idea of the catbot more than I like the implementation of the catbot. I know it's the first pass. I know, and the purpose is getting feedback and that sort of thing. It's just that when the catbot doesn't move, and because the catbot can't die, but then again, I have so much more confidence in the game than the player would. I mean, the catbot's really great because she responds. There's no consequences. There's no morale. It's a very easy thing,
If you can only do one job, so you can only like toggle sort of like one task on at a time.
That's what I was thinking.
I think that should be fine, because that solves sort of like the issue you were describing, where you wanted, you felt like you always had to make her do something. Otherwise, you're like losing out on efficiency.
Right. Just on something. Just feel like, okay, shouldn't she be doing something? Like, what is she just standing there? What am I supposed to be doing with her? You don't really have that. So if she's just doing stuff, you're like, oh, cool. And she'll never sleep, by the way, which is nice. Oh my God, I hope she doesn't use the AI schedule. That'd be so funny if she does. Should she wander if she does jobs, or should she just do nothing if there's no jobs to do? Part of the reason colonists wander is so that they don't block each other's paths, by the way.
Yeah, probably wander.
There's a mechanical purpose. Like, there's like a real, like, it's cute and all, but also it's so that imagine if a colonist drops off like a box at the ore refinery and this never moves because there's nothing else to do, right? No one could craft there because there's a dude just standing there blocking them. That's why that's a reason that they wander. It just shakes things up too, but that's a big reason they wander. So.
I guess the wandering will sort of mask a bit like the idle state.
Yeah, sometimes though it's like it could get annoying if the catbot wanders and then she's just too far away from whatever you want her to do. What if you can just draft her though? That'd be interesting, right? Maybe you can just draft her, just like you can draft a colonist. So if you want her to stay still, you can. You have that tool,
Oh, yeah.
Maybe. Like, is that good? I don't know. Also, I would love it if the catbot's model just got upgraded the more skill she gained or something. And like for example, if her weapon skill goes up, like her arm should become like a Mega Man blaster.
Yeah.
It'd be so fun.
Or if you can find like parts and just add those parts.
I think that's kind of cool, but it's sort of missing the point, which was the point was it's sort of like. So, okay, for example, as the Catbot skill, the strength skill goes up, she does more damage in melee combat. It would be nice if there was a visual upgrade that you could see, so that you could see, oh, my person is so strong, they look cooler. It's like CJ in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas when you work out. You punch, you can kill people in one hit, but also he looks jacked. So something like that could be fun, where like as the bot levels up, the bot somehow looks more interesting. Just to show you that, like, oh, she's better now. Look how cool your Catbot is. They start as like a baby, not as a baby, but like just almost like a skeleton kind of. You know what I mean? Something like that, real bare bones, and then over time they level up visually. That would be nice. Again, it'd be a lot of work because you have to make the poses for the animations for everything. It's like, oh, kill me.
There's also something nice about like it being more explicit, where you have to manually upgrade her. You have to like find the stuff.
By the way,
because otherwise she will like automatically just become beefier and beefier.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, because her skills have gone up. Yeah, she's supposed to automatically do it. Yeah. Again, it's just a polished thing. It's just a juicy thing. It's like she already has the skills; they're already better. Wouldn't it be nice if she just looks cooler? Like so that a new player's cat looks lamer compared to someone who's been playing for a while. Like their cat should look badass. Like, oh shit, your cat looks cool. How do I make my cat look cool like that? But again, that's the secondary part. The primary part was just getting the feedback that's upgraded. It's a fun trophy for the player. It's really what it's about.
Yeah.
Okay, sometimes the heads don't get linked, and I don't understand why. Because here's the thing. When I look for this freaking... I thought I'd fixed it, but clearly I haven't fixed it. I haven't fixed this issue with this head not moving. It's because the head doesn't get linked for some reason. And I'm not entirely sure why. I have to sort of debug it more and find reproduction steps because it doesn't happen all the time. The thing is, if the head is set to null, I'm already looking for the head, like again and again and again and again. And so I don't know why it doesn't quite work.
Like he's like dancing or something, like Michael Jackson style. Head is just looking to the side.
Now I don't know if this guy is going to cause issues for me. I'm going to try to make him go to sleep and see what happens, Captain. This head's going to be weird, but that's sort of... Oh gosh, I pressed the wrong button. That's to be expected. I mean, this guy didn't move his head, so that's a good sign. Again, he's gonna be weird sleeping on the floor because his head isn't linked for some reason. And I don't know why that is. Could it be that the renderer never gets linked, actually? Maybe. No, because the things don't change at all, right? He never changes his sprite. I think something weird is happening when that's the case. Okay. I'm going to make Baldy sleep. No, just kidding. I'm going to make this guy sleep. I'm going to see what happens. Okay, I think that his head position's bad. Is the sleeping head position just bad, though, to begin with?
Yes,
I think. Okay.
I fixed.
Okay, that's no problem then. Okay, this is no problemo then. I mean, it looks like it's fixed. It was a small thing. You know, it's funny. I remember when I copy-pasted the 2.5 dimensional sprite component, I was like, why is it copying it? This is so stupid. Dumb. But it wasn't serialized. It was, anyway. These things happen. You're like, why is it doing this? It doesn't need to do this. But at the time, I did need to do it. And then I made it. That's what always is. But then I made it. I exposed it. And then I was like, oh, now let's do it. Okay. Cool. Well, if that's fixed, that's fixed. Let me save and commit. And my stream was supposed to be 1 hour, went 2 hours. So that's overall not so bad. Because it could have been a lot longer. So that's where I'm at. Where I'm like, well, you don't know how bad it could have been. Oh man, dude, I'm so sore. Oh, like everywhere. I started
like the MMA.
I think it's that for sure. I used this leg extension machine for the first time. The leg extension machine's like you put your legs straight. Like it's a pretty common workout machine. Anyway, so I used it for the first time 2 days ago. I'm just very sore from it now. All them little weird muscles. Also, I've been wearing toe shoes that your toes are free. And walking in those is if you walk with the right form, it's using your calves a lot more. So it's just using different muscles that I've never really used. I recommend them. Very nice.
Interesting. Those look so funky then.
Yeah, they definitely do. That's like the worst part about them. Is like it's hard to like you can't like wear them and go to like a date, or you can't wear them and go to like a wedding or something, you know. And then like you get so like it's like for me, I love walking barefoot, and this is just like this is as comfortable as walking barefoot. And putting on regular shoes now, even after just using them for like 2 days, regular shoes just feel like they're tight, like they're crushing my foot, just so tight. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean my feet are like extra wide, so most shoes like don't fit
So you're
well.
screwed. Yeah, you gotta get them wide shoes.
Yeah. Maybe I should get those like toe shoes.
Yeah, mine, the ones that I bought are called Vibrams, Vibram, Vibram. They cost like $120. I don't know if they probably ship to you. They might just take a little bit longer to get. I'm sure they make some that you can buy your own too. But
Vibram.
Vibram, yes, Vibram, Vibram. I'm not like a loyalist. It just happened. I met a guy who had those shoes. I'm like, what are those shoes? They're called Vibram. I'm like, oh, let me check them out. And I was like, okay.
Vibram. 5 fingers.
Yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Okay, that should be fixed.
Oh, I guess you need like the socks as well, because otherwise, unless you have no socks.
I don't know yet because I've only used them in a workout capacity, barely, just to walk in them a little bit. And I didn't have socks. I didn't have any toe socks, so I just didn't. It wasn't an option for me, you know. So I just didn't.
Yeah. So you didn't have any socks at all. Yeah.
But like, should you have socks? I don't know. Also, the ones I bought ones that's for like working out, and it's for like being outside and stuff like that. And so it's probably more rubbery on the outside. So perhaps it doesn't need. I don't know if this is true or not, but perhaps it doesn't. The socks don't really need socks as much. Like if you sweat, it's no big deal. Like they're designed maybe to be washed. And perhaps there's wool ones as well. Like from sheep. Wool. And maybe those you should wear socks, but maybe those will get nasty if you don't. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know. Just don't not wear socks and be like, Tyler, I didn't wear socks, and you're totally wrong. It was disgusting. I'm like, I didn't say it wouldn't be. I just said I didn't wear socks. Maybe I'm a gross person, you know?
It seems like they're all like sold out in my size.
You should go 2 sizes up. So if your size is 40, you should try 42 instead. That's what was recommended on all the reviews and stuff like that. Just go up.
I would probably have to try them out like in the store.
This is all live. We're still streaming. It's just fun. We're talking about shoes, talking about toe shoes. So. All right, I gotta go get ready for Graham's birthday and stuff. Farewell. I should bring toilet paper as well. I gotta remember. Okay. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. Same time next week, and longer.